Recently in one of the world championships of trading that are made every year in Singapore, where not only the best analysts in the world are grouped, but also gather young traders but who carry an audited track record, in which some of them have even come to convert in the last 3 years $10,000 and almost 3 million. Yes, some of these people are directly mathematical geniuses, and in this video we will discuss a style of strategy that combines several indicators, based on the use of simple resistance or support zones. In turn we apply Fibonacci in a particular way, and all this we can make it much easier using the indicators that we will see in this video. Welcome to the Trader's Game. And before we start, remember that in the description you have the links to join us in our Telegram community, where every day we post charts and analysis of what is happening in the financial markets. And also the trading bonus page, which has been updated and have added new promotions and free bonuses, for all those who are starting in the world of trading. Do not forget to leave your email if you want to receive a weekly newsletter with everything that has happened during those days. As always, our strategies are prepared to offer you the best results in all types of assets, whether cryptocurrencies, forex, indices, or traditional markets. In this case we will operate in the temporality of 5 minutes, and the first one we will look for will be the retest support resistance signals, from Mr. Chart Prime, which as I said at the beginning of the video has to do with those areas of support and resistance, where often breaks the structure to give us some signals in particular completely automatically. In fact you are already seeing it here, even live at the time I am recording this video, as here it already gave us this signal that this support area that had been practically for 24 hours has been broken, breaking also the complete structure that we could have considered as a range at this point. And if you look at the price after this signal itself has returned to retest the area from the bottom, and now could continue its fall, leading us to take perfectly a new positive operation. Even so, this time we would not place a fixed stop loss, but we would simply let the price fall, and in the event that we retested, for example this order block here, as we saw in this area, we could put another entry to average down and take a bigger profit, taking into account for the ratio of the operation only from the support zone that now has become resistance, where the price marks that pullback. That is to say, we would have to take profits just in this zone here. We would have already taken them due to the strategy of this type of operations, and we would have already taken that profit, counting also that it has been double for the second entry of the average. But well, here you can see much more clearly this type of situations. For example, we can see this range that we had here, where the price was retesting several times that top. It could not break that resistance area until it finally did, and what happened here is that we had a retest on the top, that resistance now became support, and the indicator was already marking us completely automatically those two buy signals. At that time we would always place the stop loss below the previous structural lows, and we would take that first profit with a 1.5 to 1 ratio. Even so, our second take profit we could always let it run, and this time as you can see we could have gotten more than 7% operating in 5-minute candles, which is crazy, and with a ratio greater than 20 in our operation. It is clear that we will never take all the profit until the end, but well, you can see that the entry has been almost perfect, and that this indicator at least helps us to detect these areas automatically, and not have to be us wasting time in making that kind of basic analysis. The same thing would happen a little later. We have formed a resistance zone, and the moment it manages to cross and close a green candle above it sends us that signal. We place our stop loss below the last structural low, and our take profit more or less in ratio 1.5 to 1. Again, another similar situation a little later, the price again crosses that resistance, is supported, and continues its trend. As you see, it warns us perfectly with that signal, stop loss below the previous low, and we would have here another extra signal that we could have taken advantage of in just a few minutes. But as we are talking about a fairly simple strategy style, quite simple, and I commented in the introduction of the video that we could get great results, not only with this indicator but also applying Fibonacci. The only thing we would have to do is to be attentive to whether some kind of structure similar to the one you see here is met, break this resistance zone, and that just after pushing the price to the upside, the area where the price rests with the intention of bouncing, and that the indicator marks us that signal is an area near the key points of Fibonacci. I'm talking mainly of 0618, which as you see is just the area where the price begins to bounce after the indicator marks us that signal, which would have an even greater likelihood that this rebound is met. We would place our entry, stop loss just below these previous structural minimums, and again first take profit in the ratio 1.5 to 1. We could let run a little more that second take profit, and as you can see we would practically reach those previous highs, getting a 3.5 ratio operation. To place and configure your Fibonacci retracement, you will find it on the left side of your trading view. Normally it is usually in the third space, and you will already have it up here if you place it as a favorite. If not, simply look for it in the list, and when you go to configure it you will see all these marked lines. My personal recommendation is that you only leave these zones, which would be the most important. In fact, you would be more than enough these here. The 0 zone, which is one of the points where we will place our Fibonacci, the number 1, and in between I would leave only 0382 and 0618. This is more to your liking and depends on the strategy and the type of asset that we will discuss more in the future, but above all these four would be the main ones, and if you look at both the area of 0618 along with the signal that marks the indicator gives us an incredible value to take the continuation of trends in a practically perfect way, since it offers us the opportunity to nail and warn us so soon of the entries, that stop loss is very tight and we can let our operations run, having a very large percentage of success, and of course in the event that the price would turn around would also be very small losses compared to the coefficient that we are looking for profit. If we go now to another asset and another temporality, for example to the euro dollar, to Forex in 15 minutes, we can see that these indicators, this type of strategy, will help us a lot in all kinds of cases. This time we would place that Fibonacci from the minimum point of the structure to the maximum point, and as you see in this case the price has not reached 0618. But we also commented that the other key point is 0382, where the price usually just bounces if the main trend in which it is has much more strength, and therefore a greater likelihood of continuation. In this case, as we mark that signal just breaking this resistance and also just touching the millimeter that 0382, we could also place our operation with the stop loss as always below the previous structural minimums, and taking again that first profit in the area of the ratio 1.5, then second take profit into your liking, or take profit directly when we detect that it is breaking just at this point the trend so accelerated that carried the movement. In addition to simply take these signals, this indicator will help you to always have in your chart automatically marked, even if you do not see them for whatever reason, you forget or you are not attentive, you know that the price will have a rejection zone at this point, so even simply placing another basic indicator such as the RSI, if we know that we have that resistance zone and also the other indicators show us some negative variable, as for example here we see that divergence that has been marking, it is certainly also a good area to launch a rebound operation and continuation, in this case of the downtrend that we had. This type of indicator so basic but at the same time so effective do not have any kind of limit, you can even add them to your own strategies already mounted. Another indicator that can help us with all this is the linear regression channel, which will be marking the range or channel in which the last price moves. Let's go to settings, we remove the option to extend the lines if we do not need them, and these blue lines here at the moment we are no longer interested, so we would leave only the channel. As you see, in addition to providing us with this input, the first indicator that we place, we also know that we are in the middle of that channel, so we can decide whether to take that operation, which in this case would also be close to that area of 0618, which would be quite good. We would take that operation in the same way as the others, just to reach the top of the channel. As you see, we would take those benefits, since there is just the resistance area, or simply being right in the middle we could wait for the outer parts of the channel. And in the event that we appear some signal of this style but in this area, and we would know that we have more chances even that this operation comes out in profit, because we know that all the bottom will act as support, and the top as resistance. I hope you like this set of indicators. As you can see, they can even work individually very, very well, as they perfectly mark the lower, upper and middle parts of these channels, and you can add them to your strategies in any seasonality. As always, we encourage you to try them and let us know in comments what you think. Finally, if you like our work, please leave us a nice like, it's free. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video of The Trader's Game.